Welcome, Japanese woodblock print collectors and enthusiasts. Part of the woodblock print collecting journey is finding books on the artists and series you are interested in. I thought I'd show you some of the books I use for research and just general enjoyment of ukiyo-e art. So let's go. First, for a general overview of ukiyo-e artists, let's start with Japanese Woodblock Prints by Andreas Marx, published in 2012. This book has wonderful overviews of the artists, publishers, and masterworks from 1680 to 1900. The book includes over 500 full-color prints. The first half of the book focuses on the artists, showing a few of their prints along with their biographies, while the second half is dedicated to the publishers, who hired the artists, paid the carvers and printers, and published the prints. It's difficult to find this publisher information anywhere else, so the book is worth it for that alone. The author, Dr. Andreas Marx, is well known to woodblock print collectors since he's written over 16 books and oversees the Minneapolis Institute of Art's collection of Japanese and Korean art. He's not a sponsor, but you're going to hear his name quite a lot during this video. The second general overview book I recommend is Japanese Woodblock Prints 40th edition, published by Taschen. This is a very large book, and it showcases some of the best woodblock prints from museums and private collections. The prints range from 1680 to 1938. Once again, the author is Andreas Marx. It may look like it has a lot of content, but it's the same content repeated in English, German, and French. And look at these wonderful pullouts. I was thinking it would be interesting to try and collect one print from each artist. It doesn't have to be a perfect print, it could even be a reprint, but that would be a really fun learning experience. And another bonus of this book is it's great for flattening prints. And though it's listed online at around $200, the Taschen website offers it for just $30 with a $15 delivery fee, which is crazy cheap and seems too good to be true. You better buy one before they realize their mistake. Next, let's talk about books on the Tokaido. The Tokaido Road has been a popular subject for ukiyo-e artists like Kunisada, Kun Yoshi, and Hiroshige for over 200 years. If you're really interested in Japanese culture and history, I recommend this book, Hiza Kurige, or Shank's Mare, by Jipensha Iku. He wrote the book in the early 1800s. This humorous novel follows the adventures of two travelers, Yaji and Kita, as they journey along the Tokaido from Edo to Kyoto. It's a silly story. These guys are kind of like the Three Stooges or Benny Hill. They get into all kinds of trouble and slapstick situations. The best part is you get insights into what it's like to be a traveler on the Tokaido 200 years ago, and details about all the stations and places along the way. The first Tokaido book on prints I recommend is Kunisada's Tokaido, Tokaido Riddles in Japanese Woodblock Prints, written by Andreas Marx. It begins with a biography of Kunisada and an overview of the Tokaido Road. Kunisada created 15 Tokaido series with over 400 designs, and this shows you how flexible the Tokaido as a theme is. It could just be a landscape, or you can combine it with beauties, historical events, legends, and kabuki actors. The book finishes with an illustrated checklist of all the Tokaido series by major ukiyo-e artists, which is very useful. Another Tokaido book I enjoy is Tokaido Texts and Tales. It's got a great layout and it's fun to read. This book features famous prints from the series 53 Pairings Along the Tokaido Road, which was a collaborative series by Kun Yoshi Kunisada and Kunisada. Each print has translations of the text and insights into variations on each print. I also enjoy comparing some of my prints to see what variation I have, like this print, number 4 in the series by Kunisada of Kanagawa. It looks like I have this version where the woman's obi is a reddish color instead of this green color. Now let's talk about books on specific artists, starting with Time Present and Time Past, Images of a Forgotten Master by Amy Riegel Newland, which focuses on the works of Toyohara Kunichika. This is probably the best book available on Kunichika, and it showcases many of his finest prints and print series. I personally own about 20 of the prints featured in this book, like this one from his Okubi series, and this dynamic print from The Good and Evil Demon Mirror. Let's talk about Ando Hiroshige. One of the first books written about him in the West is Hiroshige's Woodblock Prints by Edward Strange in 1925. This is a standard reference for his work. Mine is an old Dover edition. There are only a few color prints, most are black and white. It's an interesting read, and there's lots of anecdotes about his work, life, and Japanese culture. You can find a digital copy of this book on hiroshige.org.uk. Another excellent Hiroshige book is by Andreas Marx, titled Hiroshige, 100 Famous Views of Edo. Hiroshige created prints of 118 scenic locations in and around Edo. It says that over 4,700 prints were reviewed to create this book. The prints are shown alongside reference images that show Hiroshige's inspirations. The book includes a map of locations and an appendix with examples of the color variations found in these prints, which really illustrates the uniqueness of the woodblock print medium. You can see why this series inspired many of the French Impressionists. Speaking of the French Impressionists, one of the most famous artists, Vincent Van Gogh, had hundreds of Japanese prints in his collection. This book, Van Gogh and Japan, details Van Gogh's fascination with woodblock prints and how his work was influenced by Hokusai, Kunisada, Kun Yoshi, Hiroshige, and others. If you appreciate the French Impressionists and the creative process, you'll love this book. My next artist book is Kun Yoshi and Kunisada. These are two of the giants of ukiyo-e. Besides backgrounds on the artists and the prints, there are many gorgeous pictures of monsters, warriors, beauties, and actors, all from the Japanese art collection of the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston. But wait, we didn't forget Hokusai. Here's a couple of his books that I like. The first is 100 Views of Mount Fuji. This book combines the 3 small Fuji sketchbooks that Hokusai published in the 1830s. The monochromatic illustrations show his mastery of landscape, the human figure, and composition. And it also serves as this intimate historical document of the common people and culture at that time in Japan. At the end of the book, the author provides background on each of the prints. This book, Hokusai Beyond the Great Wave, is from a recent show I attended in conjunction with an exhibition from the British Museum. It's an in-depth look at the entirety of his life and work, with images pulled from major museums and collectors around the world. And that includes paintings, sketches, illustrations, and prints. The breadth of his work is amazing. The book ends with this letter written by Hokusai's daughter, Eijo, from 1849, to inform one of his students about her father's death just the night before. I want to finish this up with a recommendation to support museums and galleries by buying the exhibit catalogs or books of the shows you attend. I hope you enjoyed this book review, and if you have any favorites I didn't mention, please let us know about them in the comments section. And until next time, Please like and subscribe, and happy collecting!